He paid $4,000, and what was inside left everyone in the room completely speechless. Darrell Sheets, known to millions as the gambler on Storage Wars, died on April 22, 2026. He was 67 years old, and in the days since his passing, as the tributes pour in and the marathons run on cable television and the comment sections fill with grief, the moment that defined his entire legacy on that show is being watched again, and again, and again. Because it was not just the biggest find in his career, it was the biggest find in the history of the show. And it happened because a man trusted his gut in a doorway with 5 minutes, a locked unit, and a $4,000 gamble. It was the Season 3 finale. Darrell bid on a storage unit in Montebello, California. After paying around $4,000 for the contents, he and his son Brandon began opening the locker, and then they found the paintings. Dozens of them stacked against the walls, filling the entire unit. Brandon pulled one out. Darrell looked at it and said, "Oh my God, look at that, that's so beautiful. Frank Gutierrez. If this is a real Frank Gutierrez, this thing could be worth thousands." He looked around the locker, still processing what he was seeing. "Brandon, I'm looking in this locker right now, and I see literally another 100 paintings. 100 paintings in a storage unit that nobody else had bid high enough to win, because nobody else in that parking lot had looked through that doorway and felt what Darrell Sheets felt." An art expert was brought in. She confirmed it immediately. "Well, it absolutely is Frank Gutierrez. Frank Gutierrez is a very important artist of a piece of Chicano history. Because they've been in storage, there's a little damage here and there. But considering the amount of work that I see all around this room, I would say that you have maybe about $300,000. Darrell's response was pure, unfiltered Darrell Sheets. "Hold on just a minute. $300,000. Bam. Oh my God, we could be talking a mother fortune. $300,000 from a $4,000 gamble in a parking lot in Montebello, California. That is the gambler. That is the moment that made him immortal on that show." But here is what makes this find even more extraordinary than the dollar figure. After the episode aired, Darrell posted on social media that he had been able to speak to the artist himself. He wrote, "Best part is I got to speak to Frank G, and I'm giving him back a lot of his personal items." He gave them back, the personal items, the things that belonged to the man who had painted every one of those canvases, who had stored them in that unit, who had lost them when the rent stopped being paid. Darrell Sheets found them, identified them, and returned them. That detail never made the headline. It never got the attention the $300,000 number got. But it says more about who Darrell Sheets was than any valuation ever could. And the Gutierrez paintings were not even the only extraordinary find of his career. In interviews, Sheets revealed that among his biggest off-camera finds were 4 drawings by Pablo Picasso, a letter written by Abraham Lincoln that sold for over $15,000, and a sizable comic book collection. 4 Picasso drawings, found in a storage locker, by a man with a gut feeling and 5 minutes to decide whether a unit was worth gambling on. In a Season 2 special, Darrell also revealed that he once found a plastic-wrapped human corpse in a storage unit. It was determined that the previous owner had murdered his wife and left her in the unit. That is not a highlight reel moment. That is the unglamorous, disturbing reality of what storage buying sometimes uncovers, and a reminder that the game Darrell Sheets played his entire life was not always glamorous. Sometimes the locker held something that no dollar figure could account for. He kept going anyway, because that was the gambler, the man who looked at a locked door and believed every single time that what was hidden inside was worth more than anyone else in the parking lot could see. One fan wrote in the comments beneath a clip of the Gutierrez episode after his death, "I used to watch you on Storage Wars with my dad who passed away in 2015. Rest easy, Darrell." Two people, sitting together watching a man open a storage unit on television. One of them gone, now the other one gone too, and the episode still playing. That is the legacy of Darrell Sheets, not the $300,000, the people who watched him together, the fathers and the sons, the Saturday afternoons and the Tuesday nights, and the specific joy of watching someone bet on something nobody else believed in and win. He paid $4,000, and what was inside left everyone speechless. Rest in peace, Darrell Sheets, the gambler, May 13, 1958, April 22, 2026. Thank you for watching.